Hello, Dr. Gray.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How's your summer going?
Busy? I didn't
Busy?
expect to take biochemistry this summer.
You didn't expect to?
No, I thought I would do good
Oh,
last
okay.
semester. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed that this semester goes well. Is there anything that you're nervous about with this class?
Um, I took it with Dr. Holland and I really enjoyed it. I studied my butt off so much, but I when I got on the exam, my mind just went blank. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
But I
Okay.
really liked the class. The topics were awesome.
Fantastic. Well, that's a good start for things. So I hope that it goes well. This is always a tricky time in a Zoom meeting because if I start talking about the class, then I know I'm going to have to start over. And I don't mind that necessarily, but I don't want y'all to hear the exact same thing over again. But also feel like I should say something because I don't want you to look at the Zoom and be like, wow, nobody has been more disinterested in teaching a class than this guy. Wow, I am excited. Geez Louise, this is buckle up, excitement on the horizon. So I've elected to just sit in silence. But the good thing is that this is being recorded and I will post it on my YouTube channel so that everyone will be like, wow, 8 minutes of sitting until the action begins. And you're absolutely right. That's exactly what's going to happen. So I hope nobody takes any sort of offense to me sitting here. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Gray. I hope that you guys are having a great start to your summer. I hope that you're enjoying your Tuesday. Um, and I wanted to just kind of give you a brief intro to our class and um, give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect this summer. First and foremost, um, we have really kind of a short time in which to cover a lot of material. Um, and and I would like you to know that I don't think that's completely overwhelming. And I like to think that I'm a reasonable person, which is what all unreasonable people always say. Um, but I want y'all to know that this is a class that, in my opinion, is really kind of building off of what you've done in your general chemistry and organic chemistry classes. Um, this class, Chem 4375, is a class that if you are a biochemistry major, you should not be taking. Um, this will not give you credit towards a biochemistry course in your degree plan. If you're a biochemistry minor, by all means. If you are taking this class for the purposes of like the MCAT or the DAT or the PCAT or something like that, by all means take this class. But if you're a biochemistry major, this is not the class for you. Now, with that to say, um, this class, in my opinion, follows a lot of what is covered, big picture conceptual things from general chemistry too. Um, Now, specifically, what I'm talking about is in general chemistry two, you learned a lot about solutions and solution chemistry and how substances change based on environmental conditions. And that's what this class is a lot of. So you'll be getting exposure to lots of different biological molecules and giving or basically just investigating how does a molecule change based on the environmental conditions. And specifically, I'm talking about like the pH. So that's a very key part of this class. I'm guessing that most of y'all, if you've ever talked with any of your peers who have taken a biochemistry course, they've probably said something about know your amino acid structures. Could anyone shake their head yes or no? Okay, good. Yeah. Um, that is absolutely true. You do need to know your amino acid structures, and that is going to surface on the second exam. So you will be asked questions about the amino acid structures. Now, with that said, to give you a little bit of a jump start on that, I want, or I'll give you some kind of direction and guidance on ways like strategies to study that material so that you can get a good grasp of that and be ready for the sorts of questions that I'll ask about amino acid structures. Um, I would like to first go ahead and um, close tab. Um, Show you our Canvas site, which I'm sure everyone's had the opportunity to take a look at, but I gotta switch mine to student view so I have an idea of what y'all see. Um, so if you look, we've got on I try to keep my Canvas pages as simple as possible. And so this is starting from the top, our first day of class, all the way through the end of the semester. So our final is on June 30th, and that is administered at 5 p.m. in the evening. Um, I'd like to see if I have any sort of flexibility to administer that exam earlier in the day, perhaps during our regularly scheduled class time. That's what I'd prefer, in part because my wife has now reached the point of being what is described as super pregnant. And we have a baby due somewhere between June 30th and July 3rd. Um, and so I don't know, that's something that's on the horizon for my schedule. Um, but with all that to say, um, here's the schedule for our semester. Thank you very much. We're very excited. Um, So this is our schedule for the semester, and I have at this point in time posted all of your video lectures for this week's material. Um, I'm going to either today or tomorrow post I guess I would say kind of a study guide. What are the high points from this first chunk of material? Um, because this first bit of material is for some folks a little bit of a review. I would say that your first exam might be one that's kind of a maybe a little bit easier, just because you have a little bit of context for that. If you look at our first week, and the way that I like to teach this class is I like to teach it going with um, the central dogma of molecular biology, which goes from DNA to RNA to protein. So the way that I like to talk about and teach this material is I like to look at the structure of DNA. Then once we've discussed the structure of DNA, move on to what's the structure of the building blocks for proteins. Then once we've discussed that, we talk about, well, what does a protein do? What does a protein look like? And so that's kind of the general direction that I like to take this class. So at this point in time, I have your lectures for this week and your lectures, therefore, for your first exam. I've noticed a little or quite a bit of activity already of people watching these. If you at any point have any questions about these, please email me, contact me. Um, I'm going to treat this class kind of as you have the material, or I will give you the material, and then as needed, I'll jump onto Zoom and discuss anything that you want with me. So I would kind of look at this week, or we'll start out with this week, as the 2 p.m. meeting time is if someone emails me and says, hey, I'd like to meet, that's a time that I will jump on and I'll post the Zoom link to everyone and say, hey, I'm going to be on. But with that said, if nobody emails me and says, hey, I have a question about this, I'm not going to send out the Zoom link. Does that make sense? So the times that we are absolutely going to meet are going to be for our exams, which will be in person. They're going to be held on the 5th, the 12th, the 20th, the 26th, and then our final exam on the 30th. I will give you the entire time to complete your exam. So what would that be, 100 minutes to complete that exam. I want you to know, though, that I do not write exams that I intend to take 100 minutes, because I think it's pretty safe to say that nobody wants that. Um, and